Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Let's jump right in. In our last explainer, we wrapped up case studies and preparing remediation sections, looking at how to patch up smart contracts when things go south. But today, we're tackling a topic that literally keeps Web3 developers up at night. We are getting into assessing upgrade management impact and preparing for testing. It's time to talk about the delicate, incredibly high-stakes art of upgrade assessments. Because here is the reality. Upgrades are incredibly powerful, but they are incredibly dangerous without a map. You're swapping out the core logic of a live system. If you're flying blind, not knowing exactly what happens to the underlying storage, you can, and honestly probably will, break $1 million protocol. You absolutely cannot afford to guess. You need precise technical blueprints. So here is our engineering schematic for today. 1. Mechanics of a proxy upgrade. 2. The danger of storage collisions. 3. Mapping your storage layout. 4. The upgrade assessment workflow. And 5. Prepping for formal testing. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Mechanics of a Proxy Upgrade. The absolute core of this, the magic and the danger, comes down to delegatecall. It executes implementation code within the proxy storage context. Think of your proxy contract like a heavy-duty, unmoving robotic chassis that's holding all your valuable storage cargo. It doesn't have a brain of its own. Instead, it's driven by a swappable implementation engine connected via the delegatecall transmission. When you trigger an upgrade, you aren't moving the cargo at all. You're just swapping out the engine. The catch? That new engine executes its logic entirely within the proxy storage context. If the new engine doesn't understand exactly how the chassis organized that cargo, well, boom. Which brings us to Section 2, the danger of storage collisions. To avoid disaster, you have to really understand your storage layout. Picture a rigid filing cabinet where each variable is assigned a specific sequential folder or slot. This is a strict rule in Solidity. If slot 0 is the counter folder and slot 1 is the owner folder, they must stay exactly that way. A random layout change in your new implementation will completely corrupt the system simply because the proxy is still pointing to that old filing cabinet structure. Just imagine the sheer panic this can cause. Say you have implementation V1, where slot 1 holds the owner address, nice and safe. Then, in implementation V2, a well-meaning developer decides to track balances, so they carelessly replace that static owner variable with a dynamic mapping right there at slot 1. If you push that upgrade, the proxy looks at slot 1, expects a mapping base, and completely overwrites or orphans your critical owner address. You've literally just locked yourself out of your own protocol. It's an absolute nightmare. Moving right along to Section 3, Mapping your storage layout. To prevent these massive explosions, we need the blueprint. You do this by exporting the storage layout JSON artifact directly from the compiler. This isn't a guessing game. This essential machine-readable JSON explicitly maps your named Solidity variables to concrete storage slots and offsets. It's the absolute ground truth of where your data lives, drawn out like a perfect engineering diagram. There's a saying among auditors that always cracks me up, but it is so true. Show me your slot diffs, or I can't guarantee your upgrade won't explode. Think about the despair of a QA auditor handed a massive new smart contract with zero documentation. Without the storage layout and a clear difference, a slot diff, between the old and new versions, they literally cannot mathematically prove the upgrade is safe. And that leads us to Section 4, the upgrade assessment workflow. This is our repeatable engineering pipeline. Step 1 is record trigger. You need to know what governance or multisig is actually launching this. Step 2 is export layout. Pull that JSON for both implementations. Step 3 is compute slot diff. Compare them to see exactly what moved. Step 4 is decide on migration. If a slot was repurposed, you're going to need a migration script. Step 5 is prepare artifacts. Package it all up. Skipping even one of these steps is a guaranteed recipe for a broken state. Let's break down this analytical checklist. What's great about this is how it separates human feelings from checkable, undeniable facts. For instance, checking for a slot retype or reuse matters because it leads to corrupted values. How do you validate it? Just compare the slot numbers and types. Checking the delegate call boundary ensures no proxy slot access, validated via static analysis. And the governance window impacts your testing ability, which you verify through time lock parameters. By the way, mastering this exact kind of systematic, checkable engineering is a core part of the wider smart contract programs at Forge College. It takes the guesswork right out of the equation.
Finally, we reach Section 5, prepping for formal testing.
To test and upgrade properly, testers need the before snapshot. You must capture pre-upgrade values via RPC to verify the live proxy's lot data. Testers have to read the raw, concrete storage directly from the deployed proxy. This is what allows them to successfully assert equality, proving that the data before the migration matches the expected data after.
So here is your ultimate upgrade survival kit to handoff. 1. Export the storage layout for both implementations. 2. Produce a concrete, undeniable slot diff report. And 3. Include all governance and time lock metadata so the test environment accurately mirrors reality. Hand these over and your QA team will absolutely love you.
So, are your blueprints and artifacts ready for formal test design? If you followed this workflow today, you're absolutely on the right track. But it leaves us with a deeper question. As our composable smart contracts become increasingly complex and deeply intertwined across the blockchain, will our current methods of upgrade assessment be enough? Or are we just building financial castles on shifting sand? Keep that in mind as we head into our next explainer on foundations of test design for composable contracts. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to visit forge.college to continue your Web3 learning journey. Keep building, keep verifying, and I'll see you next time.